Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Paul Burke, and I work with the marketing team here at Quest. The title of today's Bootcamp webinar is Leading the AI Conversation with Clients. AI is no longer a futuristic concept or a buzzword relegated to tech headlines. It's a primary conversation your clients are having right now, but there's a big difference between talking about AI and actually knowing how to lead a strategy that works. Often clients feel a mix of excitement and a fear of missing out, but they lack the clear roadmap, and that's where you come in. Our goal for this session is simple: build stronger, more resilient connections with your clients as a technology advisor. You already have their trust. Now you have the power to guide them through these critical shifts and help them match their AI goals with the actual business needs. Today is about moving past hype. We want to give you the confidence to start these discussions and show you how Quest can be your partner in making the implementation and adoption process seamless. So to help us break it down, we have Adam Burke, VP of Sales and Partnerships. He understands the hurdles advisors face, and more importantly, he knows how to turn a vague interest in AI into a high-value strategic initiative. Whether you're looking for a better way to open the door with a new prospect or trying to deepen the relationship with a long-term client, Adam has some incredible insight to share. But real quick, before I hand it over to Adam, there is going to be a $200 drawing, and anybody present at the end could win. So definitely stick around for that. Also, in addition to what Adam's going to share, that's important too. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat, and we can reach out and get those answered for you. But Adam, turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. And again, everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. Everywhere you go in the channel, everyone's talking about AI and the convergence with technology decisions and evaluations and new product launches and all that kind of stuff. But continuing to hear from clients and our partners, hey, how do we really engage in this conversation? How do we capture revenue? And what we're going to be doing today is walking through, where we're seeing this type of technology emerge in client environments, the immediate opportunity for you as a technology advisor, helping guide your customer in these decisions. Let's establish some confidence, okay? AI is cool. We hear it on podcasts, and we hear it, with Elon Musk and other folks out there about the tsunami of job loss and all this kind of good stuff going on that could be scary but exciting. But hey, who knows? We need to build confidence in what AI is and what it actually is going to help address for your customers. And then let's get a plan in place. Let's put some execution on it. Hey, planning is, ideas are cheap. Execution is where we need to focus. How are you going to execute for your customers? And what are you going to do to take that incremental step and kind of start putting those breadcrumbs out for your clients to kind of walk down the path with you in the AI conversation. So knowledge you're going to be gaining today is, high level. Why are organizations even beyond the hype? Why are they evaluating AI? How it can align with outcomes and business priorities, and then where it's going to fit into your and your clients' long-term strategies. Things we want you to walk away from this content and from this boot camp with. I appreciate you guys being here, but walking away with some tangible outcomes. Recognize the signals around AI, business outcomes that can signal a use case for, hey, let's have that AI conversation. Let's start talking about it. Inserting the AI conversation into a client discussion without feeling like you're kind of a me too, or hey, you read CIO, news rag on a recent flight, and you want to sound like the smartest guy in the room and throw out AI into a conversation. Don't want to do that. Let's introduce it naturally. And then also, we're here as a supplier. We've been in the channel for 15 years. We're going through these conversations and engagements every single day. Just got off a security advisory webinar with our CTO, Mike Dillon, and AI security features and integration was the topic of what we're seeing our clients deal with every single day. So we're here to help you in that execution. As always, again, I'm excited to have the boot camps back, being back in the flow of the boot camps here. This is the first of, I believe, 4 in this series. But we always got to start with, why are your clients even considering this? Why are they evaluating it? What are they dealing with, and why are we seeing organizations evaluate and try to assess AI? Top of the stack is it's an efficiency play, right? It's helping organizations get more time, right? So you can launch what's called a query. You can input into a question and a context. And so think about the context window. Okay, the context window is when you input a prompt, right? It can be like something as simple as, what are the top 5 UCaaS solutions in the market today by market penetration? Or it can be, what are the security concerns currently with this SASE solution? So that's your prompt. That's your context window. And clients are using that context window to basically speed up their decision-making or speed up their research and their input and their gathering. So they're using the context window to put that into a query and ask questions about, how do we do this? What do you recommend? What's the market? What's the market looking for help with here? How do we achieve X, Y, Z? And it's basically getting data from everywhere across the internet or from their data set. We're also seeing clients trying to reduce manual work. So if you have people, or if your clients have people that are sitting at their desk dealing with an email and data entry, there are areas where that manual work can be removed. Automation can be taken over for manual work of data entry, moving things along a workflow. All of that can be automated. Not a lot of people have figured out how to do that yet, but that's something a lot of people are getting told that these AI agents can help them do. Doing more with less is another area where AI is helping organizations grow without necessarily adding headcount. This can be in the areas of automated outreach and communication plans to their clients, in the marketing world, in the research world, in the analyst world, in the legal work and administrative world. Artificial intelligence and automation is allowing people to kind of create force multipliers with their existing staff. But they have to know, one of the main areas where they're struggling is that context window of what prompts do I use to get the most out of the platforms. And then again, responsiveness and speeding up decision-making processes. That's something that organizations are consistently trying to leverage AI to help them analyze data faster, make decisions faster. Was just on a security advisory event where we're seeing both threat actors and security professionals racing to make decisions faster when it comes to targeting potential areas for a breach versus mitigating potential malware outbreaks. And how do we analyze faster, and how do we respond quicker with the data that's coming in? Humans are still involved in the process, but the decision and the input is coming in faster. We're seeing that embedded in security platforms. We're seeing it embedded in marketing and communication and collaboration and call centers. We're seeing AI and automation being embedded in the things that we're subscribing to. But if you think about artificial intelligence the same way, let's say, like Chamath has a great analogy of refrigeration came out and people made a lot of money from refrigeration, right? The people who invented refrigeration. But Coca-Cola made the bulk of the money by leveraging refrigeration to deliver their product. So if you think about AI in the same sense as that, hey, this is a very, very cool capability. What are we going to build to deliver our product and our outcome with this capability? That's where it gets really, really exciting. And it's no longer experimental. It's no longer like, hey, could be. This is getting tied into, and you've all seen it. We're all out there selling MDR, EDR, and security operation services, right? We're all out there selling communications and collaboration tools and those types of things that have machine learning embedded in them. But now our clients are saying, hey, how do we get a piece of that refrigeration into our organization, and how do we deliver it? So that's where we want to help take that conversation. So when clients, their environments and the operational reality of this is that clients are, trying to figure out, how AI can help them structure, some unstructured processes. It's a long-term plan. It's not something that you're going to set or make one change and all of a sudden, you know exactly what tools to use. Quest is going into organizations on a daily basis, and we're seeing anywhere from 25 to 100 different AI-powered tools being leveraged by our clients, right? They're trying things out. They're sampling. They're sampling the automation for graphics, for publications, for writing reports, for summarizing, for doing e-discovery. All sorts of different tools have been built, and all those different tools have different risks associated with them. Clients they're dipping their toe and they're checking these out, but it's not structured, and it's a little bit disconnected because everyone's kind of testing out their own platform. So there's a lot of different capabilities. Clients are really struggling to have someone help them integrate those tools and those AI agents into a deliverable format for them, right? So there's some nuance in how people are consuming AI, and it's just a discussion you need to start with them around what are you leveraging today? Would you like some assistance consolidating that? And you, as the trusted advisor and that technology advisor, you've already sold AI into your client base, whether you know it or not. If you've sold collaboration, if you've sold connectivity, if you've sold security services, if you've positioned a collaboration call center feature in that account, you've already positioned AI in some format or another. If you have Microsoft in your capability to sell, and with being a partner with Quest as a technology advisor, you've probably sold some type of Microsoft asset into a client. You've already embedded Copilot into that organization. Now, how are they leveraging those tools? How are they getting the most out of them? How are they connecting them together? You're already in there and you've already helped them down that path a little bit. It's very, very natural to move forward with that. Hey, how do we get the most out of these existing AI tools? And how do we protect you? And how do we protect your data from leveraging what you have? So the opportunity for you as a technology advisor, one, your clients trust you. You've already helped them pick a solution for any of the building blocks that go into their tech stack. And one of the areas that you have with Quest as a supplier is we may be touching one of those areas with you in your account. So we might be helping out with physical security or application development or cybersecurity policies and management. But AI is going to touch every single building block there is, from connectivity to application development to API integration to collaboration. Everything is getting exploited by AI and AI agents. So when you're having that outcome conversation, the same as we have the outcome conversation in security, you need to help your client define their operational goals. What are they doing from a business perspective? Are they a legal shop? Are they a manufacturer? Are they in a specific Department of Defense or Department of Energy subset or a contractor where they need to have very, very specific framework for their security policies? What are they doing? And what can we help them as technology advisors execute using automation? You've been working with them for a long time, whether it's onboarding. We had a partner just the other day who came into us and said, hey, I have an opportunity. It's a slam dunk for you guys. They want to work with you, but their onboarding process is a nightmare, right? So you as an advisor know where the inefficiencies are for that organization, whether it's in procurement, whether it's in approval process, whether it's in new onboarding. You understand where those inefficiencies are. And hey, maybe you can help promote the idea of removing those inefficiencies by leveraging some automation, whether it's in decisions or contract flow or document, executing documents or onboarding new vendors. You know where those inefficiencies are. So as the trusted advisor, as the technology consultant, as someone in there helping them make the decision, helping them lay out where those inefficiencies exist, and then, hey, here's the next step you can take. Now, as advisors with Quest, you've probably heard us multiple times talk about cybersecurity checkups, right? We provide checkups and we provide snapshots and recommendations on where organizations maybe can improve their processes. The same methodology, the same jujitsu, if you will, the same move can be applied to artificial intelligence and AI, right? Organizations are trying to figure out, how do I grow faster than my competitors? How do I improve my operational efficiencies? How do I modernize my environment? And then what are the outcomes I'm looking for? These are the same conversations you have in the security dialogue. These are the same conversations you have in the collaboration dialogue. These are the same conversations you have when you're building a new environment, a new data center, a new campus, a new physical world for them. The same ROI conversations need to be had around artificial intelligence. So if an organization is trying to grow, we need to help them understand what powers that growth. What is it that when you're trying to grow revenue as a sales organization, or if you're trying to grow revenue as a manufacturer or distribution or technology SaaS provider, what are those KPIs that you need to track that encourage growth? So, and then what part of that decision can be automated? How do we create that opportunity with them? Again, same as like, if anyone remembers the AI bootcamp that we did, the application development bootcamp that we did, AI is an extension of your client's applications. And your client's applications are the building blocks that make that organization run. So when you get involved in these conversations, you really have to understand, what are they trying to achieve? Okay. If they're a legal organization, if they're a law firm, if they're, if they do contract negotiations and summaries and those types of things, how can they leverage automation to summarize drafts or to summarize, the ability to, create new briefs for organizations, but at the same time, secure that? How can they do these two things at the same time? Their competition's moving faster than they are, right? They have more access to data. They have their trial attorneys who are there in the courtroom and have access to, the ability to create briefs lightning fast, and they're doing it the same way they've been doing it for 20 years, and they're losing. So how do we do that in a secure manner? Again, these are extensions of their existing applications, and every single existing application has technology debt. So when they're trying to modernize, you as a technology advisor can help them identify where they're falling behind versus their peers. Also, what technical debt do they have in place that they need to shore up to help meet that outcome, whether it's growth or efficiencies, or if they're just trying to, competitively position themselves against the rest of the market. Again, strategic conversations, but they're not necessarily technical. You have to identify the problem statement first. A lot of what we're seeing in the AI world is individual users creating their own problem statements, going out and pulling something off the shelf and trying it out. It's, if you flash back, 15 years when shadow IT and cloud first came on and people were just signing up for AWS and running their credit card, same concept. People are doing that, and it's creating a lot of holes, but it's also creating a lot of awareness around the gaps here. So where do we start? So when you're going into the AI readiness conversation, where do we start as an organization helping you evaluate what your clients are trying to do? We typically start with a discovery workshop. These discovery workshops can be a day to 2-day exercises, sometimes longer, where we go in and we, like I mentioned, we've done a little over 120 of these so far in the last year and a half. And these engagements, typically we're going in and we're seeing between 25 to 100 different AI tools from a shadow IT standpoint that are being used across the organization. These are organizations in the middle market. A lot of folks in the middle market don't necessarily have a wrapper around their data governance and understanding who has what access to what policies. So we're going in and we're helping that IT personnel and leadership understand what are your people doing and what are your people already using and what applications do you have in your environment today that are leveraging AI or AI agents. It is a little bit of the Wild West out there. We've seen sometimes in our security life as a cybersecurity provider, you try to evangelize the proactive concept of be prepared, evaluate your environment, evaluate your policies, understand how your people are being managed and their endpoints are being managed. That's on the be prepared side of the house. More often than not, we have some new clients come to us sometimes who did not know what their people had access to or what policies they had in place to restrict access from certain users. Those certain users are maybe the ones who were involved in the compromise or in the breach. And at the time, the malware that goes into the environment and starts exploiting that user's access is kind of a moment where, Warren Buffett, always had the saying of you figure out who's swimming naked when the tide goes out. In emergency situations in security and in breaches, that happens, and sometimes clients don't understand what access their users have because the bad actors exploit that access and take documents, release documents, encrypt key assets of that environment, and that happens in an emergency. Artificial intelligence is not malware, but it is taking the same. It is positioning that similar outcome in so that your clients, when they start using publicly accessible large language models, and they have, remember that context window, okay, they're putting data into that context window. And if that environment is not secure and they're putting spreadsheets or documents or PowerPoints or strategic information or client information into that context window, they might be getting some great feedback back. They might be getting some great analysis back. But when we go and do these workshops, that sometimes is a surprise that, hey, these people within my organization have access to some proprietary and some sensitive information that you don't necessarily want to ingest into that context window, right? Because once it goes out that window, it is in the wild. It is trainable data. It is part of the large language model. It is now out there, okay? So when we're doing these discovery workshops, the first thing you need to do when you're involved in a new operation is, where are you? Where are you in the landscape of AI? Okay, what do you have in place today? What are you doing? Next stage is we're going into that planning and that solution kind of evaluation. What are the incremental steps that a firm can take to improve their outcome? Do they want to make their people more efficient? Do they want to secure their environment and make sure that they're training only on data that's relevant to their industry? Do they want to build their own artificial intelligence engine locally and create their own agents locally that's going to be part of their value, right? When firms come and evaluate their enterprise value, do they want to create their own in-house agents and their own in-house tool sets, or do they want to leverage the publicly accessible ones? These are discussions, these are business strategies, and there's different ramifications that come along with each. Using the publicly accessible assets has its own security constraints. Building out your own environment, which we help organizations do, you have issues around securing materials. securing data center space, securing power, which is becoming more and more of an issue for firms that are trying to build out their own environments. So you have those considerations. Now, it's not a walk in the park. It's not an easy conversation because the publicly accessible assets are continuing to evolve their billing, right? And they're continuing to evolve. How are they going to charge for? Earlier, we used the refrigeration analogy, right? How are they going to charge people for that refrigeration? You're hearing words like tokens and utilization and spending and queries and all these types of things. Every time you're outsourcing that intelligence to someone else, that bill is continuing to roll. Okay. So that planning has to be a business and a strategy concept as far as, okay, how do we want to enable our people and what outcome are we willing to pay for and how do we want to pay for that? So tangible return on investment outcomes. If I can have this person execute these tasks and this is the outcome that saves me from either hiring incremental people or paying for these 3 different tool sets that are no longer maybe required, what is that going to mean? So you can help them with that. That's an engagement where we've helped a lot of firms kind of go through that process and either build their own environments. We worked with a large grocer where they wanted to help analyze some of their purchase and sales price data, and they built it in-house. They wanted to keep that all in-house. So we helped them do that, and they're already starting to see incremental ROI on the ability to analyze their sales metrics in about a couple of minutes, as opposed to it used to be a couple of days from their database. So significant evaluations that can be put in place there. Implementation, integration, and ongoing operational support. This is not going to stop. So similar to if you go back to the application development concepts, the APIs, the connectivity, working with clients on this is not a one and done project. This is going to continue to evolve over the next couple of years, and it's not going to stop, right? It's going to be a constant evolution. People are going to need help implementing this. Every new asset that they bring on, whether it's a new software as a service solution, which, by the way, SaaS is not dead, no matter what people tell you. Software as a service is not dead. It's leveraging artificial intelligence just like everyone else, and they're using it to enable and create new offerings, new capabilities very, very quickly. And those are tied into a lot of business of record applications that firms are going to leverage more and more. So that implementation, the integration work, tying those things together, helping organizations understand how to use that context window and how to use either in-house or securely integrate with hosted assets is something that's going to, it's a new skill set that is going to be getting developed and continuing to grow as we go here. So implementation, integration, ongoing operational support. Again, you as the technology advisor, you're already in these conversations. You helped them turn up the circuits. You help them migrate to the data center. You help them enable the call center. You help them deploy the technology, deploy the firewalls. You've helped them with their core infrastructure for years. This is another step. This is another patch, another piece of software, another capability that you can lead your clients into with suppliers like Quest, helping them, whether it's through the initial discovery, through the planning, the implementation, and the ongoing support. It's not going to go away. And if you're not going to have this conversation with them, there definitely are other organizations that are. So we've been doing this again for years. We saw machine learning ramp up really quick about 9 years ago in the security space. So things like anomaly-based detection and using mathematics and endpoint security to detect malware. Machine learning has been around for a very, very long time. But AI and helping to automate decisions working with agents, working with Copilot, giving people the ability to report faster and use their applications without necessarily as much manual entry. We're seeing that across the spectrum, whether it's developing a resource portal for our clients in the financial services space, helping with loan origination and analysis and credit checks and tying together legacy systems on the back end and presenting a slick and clean and quick user interface for folks to analyze those types of loans. We've done that, and we've also helped organizations, like I mentioned in the grocery example, that CFO can make very, very quick decisions based on purchasing data for assets that are on the shelf that historically they had a 10 to 15% variance in knowing what was actually on the shelf versus having to have flash sales and move product quickly. Food expires, right? So how do you move those assets through effectively and make sure that your profit margins are staying there? We're helping organizations do that, and that's helping to streamline those operations. So really exciting, kind of real world engagements here. And again, it has to be tied to a business goal. So when you're having those AI conversations, ask about, hey, are you looking to automate some internal workflows? Are you looking to streamline a decision-making process, or how do you guys analyze what to do in XYZ scenario? You know what they're doing. You're involved in their business. If you're not, that's an opportunity to get closer to them. So, from a boot camp standpoint, we always like to kind of have our top 10, right? We always like to have, why you as an advisor should be in the lead of these AI conversations. So you're going to increase your value to your clients. You're going to be involved in their business. Get curious around what they're doing. It's a very sticky engagement. It's ongoing. Okay. It's always going to be there. It's not going away. These conversations are going to ramp, and they're going to ramp very quickly. We're in 2026 now. By the end of 2026, I'd say the majority of your clients, if not all of them, are going to be having these AI conversations around actually trying to tie it to a business outcome. First thing they got to do, though, remember, is they got to get their arms around what they have in their environment today. They need you to help them from a trusted guidance standpoint. Okay. You have a strategic role in there already. This gives you the ability to expand that strategic role. Again, long-term opportunity. And, number 10, of course, personally, it's number 1 for me is, Quest supports the execution of not only the evaluation, but the ongoing management, the support, and the security of these operations. So we can help you understand where you are today. We can help you and your clients understand areas that they could go, where their competition's going, and what we're seeing in the market. And then the implementation and the ongoing support. These are all areas that you as an advisor can help walk your clients through. And Quest, from an execution standpoint, can come in alongside you and help them through that process as well. So it's not something that is going to wait for you, right? Organizations are trying to figure this out. They're being forced down this path through competition, through FOMO, whatever it is. They're evaluating this, and it's becoming common just in non-work life, people leveraging artificial intelligence for their day-to-day, right? Everything you do. I don't care if you log into Google and you search, if you search for a local gym or a local, provider for internet, it's going to give you the AI option, right? It's going to give you hey, continue to dig down and ask more questions around, this recipe or this local provider, or hey, who's the best handyman to come over and help with XYZ? Not that I would ever hire a handyman, because I'm very, very, squared away on all things home improvement. Yeah, right. But so that's in our day-to-day, it's gonna happen. It's already happening. And again, you as the trusted advisor, as a technology consultant, as a technology advisor, you're in there helping organizations do this, but you got to start them understanding where they are today and where they can go, tomorrow, and how you can help them get there. So again, we need you to lead the conversation. You need to guide your clients and engage Quest if we can help at any level of the AI conversation, whether it's evaluating where they are today, helping them decide what controls and policies to put in place with their existing applications, or if they need help with the integration and the ongoing management of their AI platform that they have. And again, we don't necessarily care whether it resides on the premise of the customer, in a data center that we provide in a private cloud instance, or if they choose to use one of the publicly accessible models that they can basically leverage some of the chat GPTs or the Groks or whatever it may be out there, Anthropic, whatever you need. If you want to do that, or if they want to develop their own in-house, maybe open source stack to develop their own agents in-house. Quest is here to help. Every single one of those decisions has its own benefits and its own risks. And you as a technology advisor can jump into that conversation, talk through those risks, talk through those potential values for each one of those decisions, which one might benefit that organization, and then lead the outcome conversation. And again, Quest can help execute, and you can help your client execute at every level of that. Every level of that path from an AI perspective, you can help execute. So I don't know, Paul, if there were any questions that came up while we were rolling through that, or anything that the team brought up while I was going through that.
Yeah, actually, no questions so far. And if you do have them, great opportunity to put them in the chat. But no, Adam, that was a fantastic presentation. We'll just we'll just wait a second to see if anybody does add a question. And if you do have a question that pops up later, hey, we'll get that answered. We'll reach out to you and get that answered. So no pressure to ask it here if you'd rather not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and like always, we have you can contact us, our partner page. If you click down on that one, or our main partner portal there, please join us. If you haven't joined or follow us on LinkedIn, please do. Would love to have that. So I just saw David's question there pop up, and David, great question. Yes, we do help organizations with Copilot, and appreciate. I don't know if that was a marketing plant, but it could be. We have a turnkey playbook that actually on this link right here is a go-to-market playbook specifically around the Microsoft stack and Copilot integration and workflows. So if you go there, and we have about 9, I believe, I don't know, Darcy, I think we have about 9 or 10 now, turnkey marketing playbooks and programs for you that have all sorts of assets, LinkedIn messaging, email content that you can customize and send out to your clients to spark that conversation, specifically around Copilot. So if you need any assets,
application development too. So if you're looking for it, it's under application development and then hyphen Copilot, SharePoint. So it's an application development go-to-market playbook.
Yep. And then I think we did our last month's security advisory was actually also on Microsoft's integration of Copilot amongst multiple different asset levels that they have within the Microsoft stack. So great question. Appreciate that. That let me plug the go-to marketing playbooks and our security advisory. So appreciate that.
Nice.
So,
so playbook is good news. Also, for everybody watching right now, good news, somebody had to drop off, which means your odds of winning the drawing went up. So let's do the drawing, Darcy. So we're giving away a $200 Visa gift card. So really grateful you're here, and I'll turn it over to Darcy.
This is the funnest part. I get to pull a name, and today's winner is Mary Lynn. Is it Schott? Mary Lynn Schott. You are
Oh.
today's winner. So we will get something out to you after this call. If you have a different email address that you'd like us to send that to, other than the one you used to register, drop that in the, drop that. Oh, good. Drop that in the chat and we'll make sure that we get it to the correct email address. It'll be a digital gift card that will be coming to you.
Awesome.
Great. Congratulations.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate everyone joining us today. Thank you very much. Again, if you'd like to register for our next session, we do have a couple more of these coming up throughout the quarter. So thanks again for spending time with us, and hope everyone has a great day.
Real quick, the next one is going to be on April 8th. So be sure to, that'll be Wednesday, April 8th.
What is the topic?
It is strengthening client cybersecurity through operational engagement.
Ooh, that sounds great.
And that title was not generated by AI.
Not even remotely.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
day.